Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Our next guest traveled all across Italy to bring back some of the most authentic and amazing recipes. Here to share one of them, we welcome the author of Milk Street, Backroads Italy, J.M. Hirsch. So nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
We've been so excited about this book. I mean, come on.
It is, you know, we've done a lot of books at Milk Street.
Yeah.
A lot of books. This is by far my favorite because it isn't just recipes. The recipes are amazing, don't get me wrong. But it's also the stories of the people and places behind the recipes.
So true.
And as we all know, Italy is the most wonderful, most romantic place in the world. And to get to share those stories of the people and the places, that is what makes it special.
And new recipes to us, maybe, that we're not familiar with, and different takes on things that we maybe think we know.
Exactly.
But maybe we're doing it wrong, as we're going to explain right now.
Exactly. We are going to do Fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay.
But the important thing to know about this is we have to talk about what it isn't rather than what it is. Okay. Okay? It isn't heavy cream.
No.
It isn't chicken.
No.
It's not mushrooms.
Okay.
No shrimp either.
Just stop the madness.
3 ingredients. Butter, really good Parmesan cheese, and of course, fettuccine.
Come on.
That's it.
What's better than that?
And we're going to have this together in real time, in the time it takes to cook this pasta. Because it's fresh fettuccine, it's going to cook in 3 or 4 minutes.
I love that. Okay.
So, we've got some boiling water here. Throw in some salt, of course. And then we're going to throw in our fettuccine.
Okay.
Okay. And there we go.
Now that wasn't very much salt. I feel like on some of the cooking shows, they are dousing salt in the pasta water.
You can certainly do it to taste, but in this case, we have so much salt in this wonderful Parmesan cheese that you can actually ease up on the salt in the water.
Okay.
Okay?
There you go.
So, what we have here is a little bit less water than normal, and that's intentional. Okay, because when pasta cooks, it releases the starch from the flour into the water. That starchy cooking water is an important ingredient in actually most pastas.
That's true.
But especially in this pasta sauce because it acts to emulsify all the other ingredients. And in this case, one of those key ingredients is butter, of course. And now it's important when you go shopping. Let me back up for just a moment here. Okay. 3 ingredient dish, right? Invest in your ingredients.
True.
Because each ingredient needs to shine. In this case, we're using European style butter. Now, sounds fancy, right?
Yes.
What it really means is it's fattier butter. And we know fat makes flavor, right? So
obviously,
American butter tends to be about 80% fat.
Okay.
European style butter is 85 or a little bit more.
Okay.
And that fat makes a difference.
It's true though, when you're only shopping for a couple of things, it is worth the investment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Same for the Parmesan cheese. Don't buy pre-grated.
Don't do it.
Get the block.
Yep.
We like to use the food processor to grind it because in this instance, it's really important to get it finely ground. Because
what a great idea.
This is not a sprinkle situation. This is a melted situation. So you want little fine bits.
I love that. I wouldn't have thought of that.
So I'm just going to get our pasta going here. And I want to introduce you to the most wonderful. Okay, this is, of course, wonderful. Okay. But this is the most wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
This is focaccia that was taught to me by the man who makes the best focaccia in all of Italy. And not my determination.
Okay.
Italians decided
It's been stamped.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a high hydration dough, which means it has lots of air, lots of chew. It bubbles up as it cooks, and it's amazing.
Is this my appetizer as we're waiting for the noodles?
It's topped with cherry tomatoes and briny green olives. It's got a crackling crisp bottom because there's a lot of olive oil in there. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, it's so good.
I'm not allowed to make this at home anymore because we just eat the whole pan. It doesn't last.
I would not eat anything else.
No, exactly.
That's heavenly.
Isn't that great?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, as our pasta is pretty much ready
done,
to go. Exactly. So, put that there. Now, the thing is, you got to use a big bowl.
Okay.
Because we're going to toss our pasta with our butter. And the tossing is as important as the ingredients themselves.
Okay.
Because as we toss, we're going to work all of those starches, and those starches are going to emulsify the melting butter. Okay. Okay?
There's science happening here.
Exactly. So we're going to pull our pasta. Now, can you drain this with a strainer? Of course you can, but you don't have to.
It's not as fun.
No, exactly. If you do want to drain it, you would grab that measuring cup and you would pull out some of this starchy cooking water so that you have it to add.
Okay.
But by using tongs and just pulling our pasta out, we bring a lot of the water with us, okay? So now, I'm gonna toss, and I'm gonna toss, and I'm gonna toss. So
and the butter is just melting right along with the noodles.
Exactly. And all that starch is emulsifying the fat in the butter and creating this sauce. This is why you don't need heavy cream to make real fettuccine Alfredo. Now, if you would be so kind
gotta put down my snack.
Sprinkle in some Parmesan cheese. And, you know, this is Italy, so you can't have enough, right?
What are we talking here? Is that a sprinkle for now?
Oh, I think you can do better.
Keep
than
going?
that.
Okay.
I think yeah. There we go.
Ask for forgiveness later.
Perfect, exactly. Now, to my point, I'm going to scoop out some of this. Start your cooking water and add a little bit more. And this is the thing, you can do it to taste, to the consistency that you like, and just keep working it. The heat of the pasta, the heat of the water, it's gonna melt all the cheese, it's gonna melt all that butter, and it's gonna create this beautiful, silky smooth, creamy sauce. This is the real fettuccine Alfredo. This is how they do it in Italy. Now it's interesting, in Italy, the only two places in all of Italy that call it Fettuccine Alfredo are these two restaurants in Rome. And they popularized this recipe about 100 years ago. But the truth is, this recipe is actually hundreds of years old.
I bet,
and it's called pasta in bianco, which is just white pasta. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And this is actually, believe it or not, what Italians feed children with upset tummies.
Oh, of course.
Isn't it?
Of course. That's the perfect thing.
Exactly. So if you want to grab some plates, I will serve us up.
Please.
Because we now have our creamy,
that looks so
ultra rich.
gorgeous.
Oh my God, look at that.
Oh my
There we go.
gosh.
That should keep you going for a
That's
little
a lot.
bit.
That's a lot of pasta. Okay, I'm going to dive in for a quick
Yes,
taste here.
please do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that was so fun to see it come together because I have been in situations where it's a pasta recipe and you add the pasta water and you go, uh-oh, I've done too much. But the way you just worked it in, it was all supposed to come together.
You work in as much as you want. And look at that.
I got to get a bite.
We really did cook this so quickly.
In
the time it took to make the pasta itself. 3 or 4 minutes.
I'm getting way too big of a bite, but I just got to go for it.
Oh, you can't get enough.
Oh my gosh. That butter.
Right?
That's divine.
Fat makes it better.
Okay. I took a big bite. The book again is Milk Street, Backroads Italy. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.